Ever since you started living in the village, which skill have you practiced or or you are a city boy in the village?
Things like I'm not interested in. Personally, there are some things like I'm not really interested in. Like sometimes you find that even living in the village, I'm actually living in the village because
In the village, people don't have competition. People are usually 100%. That's actually what I like about there. Because in the city, no parent is there. You are independent. Yeah, you are independent. Even just boarding like a motorcycle, you have to.
Hello my people of the internet, what's going on here? My name is Hansel Peter and welcome back to I Am Hansel YouTube channel. I'm coming to you live and clear from a very remote village located in coastal parts of Kenya, Africa. This is Majongani village to be precise. I'm coming to you at around, I think it's something along the lines of maybe about 2 p.m. I guess, and it's actually a good day in the village over here. It's been raining cats and dogs, and it's actually a good thing. The rain is actually assisting the entire village, you know. Yes, I remember a viewer here on the channel in a couple months ago. The subscriber told me that what, your village is so dry. Look at this now, very green. I like this. This is actually the power of the rain. And I'm joined here with
Yes, hello everyone, welcome back to I Am Hansel YouTube channel. In case you're meeting me for the very first time, I actually go by the name I Am Dickens. That's basically on YouTube. And I'm actually Hansel's younger brother. Yeah, both of us are YouTubers, and currently we are here in the village. It's been a wonderful day here in the village. Yeah, the weather is cool, though it's sunny, but it has been raining. Yeah, and everything is good right now. So stay tuned and let's see how the vlog goes.
As the title suggests. Yeah guys, today I just want to talk about you know, some people choose city life while others choose village life. So let us actually talk about these things. So first and foremost, where will you prefer to live? Is it a village or in the town, in the cities?
I think I'll prefer city life.
City life to... Okay, yeah.
What about you?
Me, actually, I'm Jambo. Me, you know, sometimes I'm like on the fence.
No,
I'm thinking how I can be a traveler and go to whichever place I want at any given time. When I want to come and relax in the village, I just come. When I want to go in the city, I just go. Me, I'm like...
But which one do you prefer?
That way.
If you are told...
In my childhood era, I used to prefer to live in the city. But again, when I started living alone, where we used to live, like that's the point that I felt that living alone, maybe in the city or in the town, man, it's expensive, and like you cannot even do anything. You cannot even save money to purchase a gadget of yourself or even travel elsewhere, like, and that one is actually something that makes me even get attracted to even again living in the village.
So in conclusion, you prefer village life over city life?
Not exactly. Yes, because I me, I'm like,
no.
I'm like, I'm stepping on.
We don't need explanation first. You state, then you'll explain later.
Look how the rain has been doing wonders.
Muddy everywhere.
Yeah, rain has been doing magic in the village. Just look, but it's actually a great thing.
Yeah, even right now, traveling, getting away from the village is kind of difficult because the roads are not good.
Yeah.
Everywhere it's mud.
Yeah, you see what I was talking about? I can't like afford to live in the city throughout. Like I'll be stuck like, and again, even again living in the village, I cannot live in the village for like forever. Like I usually love this thing of traveling, you know. You can travel where you want, stay where you want to live and things like that. Yeah, because if I choose to live in the cities, by there I'll feel very stuck. I cannot do anything. Like I'll be just in a I'll be in consuming mode. Like I'll be just buying groceries, eating, paying rent. Like life will be hard on me also. I'll never have like it's very crazy. And again, living in the village again, sometimes here no connections. Here sometimes it's you and you alone, because even mingling with other villagers or other youths in the village, like our minds are not the same.
Yeah,
like you find somebody,
we don't have the same objectives and goals.
Even the goals are totally different. Like now it's difficult. Yeah, now sometimes I have to go in the cities. That's where I can find people whom like we can at least go get together and things like that. Yeah, that's
so in conclusion,
I choose to live anywhere.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
because I cannot say village life. I cannot really say that village life or city life. Yeah, those are actually my opinion as at now. Yeah. Yeah, because even you are saying city life, but now you're living the village.
Yeah, see? Because of some reasons.
Yeah, even me, because of some reasons, I cannot say that I want to live in the city life.
One thing I came to realize about myself, that my goals and what I want to achieve in life, my dreams, are not aligned with village life. That's what I actually came to realize. Yeah, my goals are not aligned to do with these things to do with village life and all that. No, that's one thing I came to realize.
Yeah, for me it's a tricky situation, and at this time of at these years of mine, you see, like I'm pursuing many things. So some things when I live in the village, like some things I cannot access, some things are felt very hard, very far to reach. Yeah, there are many things, and sometimes again, if I come to live in the village, you know, again I can be able to at least save. Yes, I can be able to at least save and do something that I'm actually looking forward. So like for me at this juncture or at this point in my life, it's a tricky situation. Like I cannot just say like this. It's tricky situation. Tricky situation. And that's why also this YouTube channel is not only about village life. You know, sometimes I feel very bad when maybe a subscriber or a viewer thinks like I can be only living in the village like forever. That's not the point of this YouTube channel. Yeah, I created this YouTube channel mainly for the purposes of like showcasing my life, showcasing the life in Africa, traveling, lifestyle, vlogs, many things, like self-development, transformations, a lot of stuff. Yeah, what about you? When
okay, yeah. About my channel.
Yeah, you see, when we are actually in the village, maybe a viewer might think that the channel is only supposed to be making videos only to do with village life, and now when you are traveling, somebody thinks like you are showing off and things like that. Yeah, talk about that one.
Okay, about First of all, the main reason for me opening a YouTube channel was just to show, it was about me, to show about my life,
and
not about city life or village life. It was about me. So it depends with where I'll be. That's where I'll be showing. If I'm in the village, I'll be showing village life. If I'll be in the city, I'll be showing city life. But I didn't open my channel so that I can show things to do with the village or things to do with the city alone. So when I'm in the village, I'll show things to do with the village. When I'm in the city, I'll show things to do with the city. Just showcasing my life. If I'm traveling, I'll show things to do with traveling, right? So that's it.
You know, it's actually a tricky situation when someone might think that this YouTube channel was only created for the purposes of because most of the time it's like I've been only spending my life in the village, but that's not the point. Like I have so many huge goals. Like I have goals of traveling to even other countries far away from my own country, like, so I cannot like limit myself to only village life, you know.
But that for me, what I usually know is that you can't say that village life is better than city life, or even city life is better than village life. It usually depends with the personality of a person, with the goals of a person. Someone may want to be living in a village because he or she is actually interested with things to do with farming and village life, you see. But someone may prefer to live in the city because of his goals and his own reasons, you know. So when you feel like your goals are aligned with village life, go live in the village. When you feel that your goals are aligned with city life, go live in the city, because you know there are some things that you can't achieve while you are in the city, right? And there are some things that you can't achieve while you're in the village. So living in the village or living in the city usually depends with your personality, with your ideas, with your goals, with what you want to achieve, with the objective. So that is it. And that, so for me, if someone decides to live in the city forever, no problem. If someone decides to live in the village forever, no problem. In fact, I don't hate village life. I don't hate village life. Nor I don't prefer city life over village life. But according to my goals, to my objectives, and what I want to achieve in life, I think I cannot do them in the village. Because even of late I came to realize that, not even of late, you know, we were not raised up in village, you see. We were in village setup.
We were raised in mostly towns,
small towns. That's one thing that actually affected us highly. And even our reasoning, my reasoning doesn't reason with how the village has reasoned, you see. So even making friends with them, living in the village, adapting village life has been kind of very, very difficult. For the past 3 months that I've been in the village, let's say I've started adapting, but again, I prefer city life. That's what I prefer. Because I can't say that, life in the city is like kind of very different, things are expensive. But what I usually believe with human beings, that you can create a perfect environment for yourself. You can do anything. That's actually what you don't like, you can actually change it. If you don't like being broke, you can change it. You see. We are not limited. That's the good thing. That's the beauty of this world, that people are not limited. What you don't like about yourself, or what you don't like about your surrounding, you can change it. If you see that living in the city actually costs you a lot of money and you don't like that, you can change the environment. You can relocate to the village. The way just my dad did. My dad didn't value city life at all. He saw that living in the village actually aligned with his goals and what he wanted to achieve in life. So he relocated to the village, and that's actually a very, very nice thing.
And that being said, let us now try to look at the advantages that comes to a person who actually lives in a city life. So the first point that I have is that there are more job opportunities. Like the city is the land of hustle, more jobs and chances to grow. And that one is actually 100% correct. When you live in the city, you have more access to job opportunities, right?
Yeah,
because
sure.
like even here in the village, like it's quite hard for you to get like a day job and things like that. VP, fresh. Like in the village, it's very hard to get even employment itself. You see,
It's very,
because
very hard.
yeah, most people that live in the village, like some are dependent on their land, their farm, their field. They plant crops, they harvest, it's like they create their own food. Like expenditure is very low. Like some people's expenditure very little, very low. Like there's no employment in the village. Like it's very hard unless you yourself, you actually create that employment to others. Yeah, that's actually one benefit of living in the cities.
But I have a question. You actually say that what makes you maybe to prefer village life at some point over city life is that when you are in the city, life is like so costly, and even affording some things is difficult. Even saving, you end up using a lot of money. So that's when you prefer coming to the village to take a short rest while even you are doing some savings, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is that my question is that let's say that you are just financially stable.
Yeah.
It reaches a point that you are financially stable, where you are able to live in the city without struggling. You are able to provide for yourself things without struggling. So which one would you choose?
Yeah, I think at that point, at that point it might be very easy even to live in the city. Like at that point, like you see, as at now, like I'm not really 100%, but I think at that point when I'm like I'm financially stable and things like that, I can choose to wherever I want. Like I can choose to live in big cities and live comfortably, you see.
Not in the village,
but
then you build your dream house in the village.
But I can also do that. Yeah, that's why I came out clearly here. I said like right now there are many things I'm actually pursuing. All I have other goals. Like when I live in the village, I'm being hindered, and there are also goals that when I live in the city, I'll be hindered. Like for me, like right now, it's like I'm actually in a tricky situation. And again, this channel that I'm actually running, like with this channel, I've noted that I cannot really live in the city. Like when I live in the city, like I must be traveling to other cities, you see. And another thing I've learned is that when I'm in the village, like I can also do videos. Like now that one makes me to be in a tricky situation. Yeah,
that's why I told you that for me, I prefer my channel being about myself, so that someone can watch me from anywhere.
Yeah,
people come to watch me, not where I am currently, not the village, or not even the city. People come to watch me. I think that is very, very good.
Yeah, and again, the thing is, like city life, I know what it actually entails. I've been there. I've been traveling to like even the capital of Kenya. Like I know the cost of living in the cities. Like even when you see me living in the village, like I know how life is. How life is. Like sometimes you don't get what you want. Like you just flow with the vibe. Sometimes you get what is being given to you. Yeah, that's why sometimes for me I just basically flow with the vibe. Whether it's actually living in the village, I flow with the vibe. When the time gets that I should depart from the village, I also do just that. Yeah, that's basically it. But this is actually a tricky. Yeah, so in the cities again, we do have better education. So top schools, colleges, and access to global knowledge, which is of course, 100%. Like,
yeah, like so now you see here in the village, we don't have a high school. We don't have a high school here, and even the primary schools are far away, are very far away. One is here, another one is so many kilometers away. Like now you see our siblings, they really have to walk for a very, very long distance while they are going to school.
About an hour to get to school.
About an hour, imagine.
And imagine they are using the shortcut.
Yeah.
So what if you are using the main road? Maybe at that point, maybe if you have a bicycle or a motorbike or even a car, yeah, that's when you can use the main road. But they usually use the shortcut, and it is what it is.
And even the quality of education in the school that we are studying in, it's not that good, because they have even some teachers which are not trained, you see.
Yeah, and again, it's not a private school.
It's
like
a public.
Like in the world, I don't know what happened to schools. Schools that are called private schools, most of those schools, they are usually
are the best ones.
Yeah, they are usually serious with it. It matters to do with education. Unlike schools that are called public schools, government-owned schools, or government entities and things like that. Yeah, so another point is that in the cities, we do have advanced healthcare. You get quick access to hospitals, doctors, and emergency services, which I also agree. Yes, but the good thing now that we are talking about also ourselves is that in the village, of course, even we do have healthcare. Okay, there's a healthcare, but it's like just a small health center. Just a small health center. And another thing for me personally, I don't even remember the last time I was actually in a hospital. So maybe doctors, I don't need you unless I get sick, of which I don't even remember the last time I felt sick. Yeah, that being said, thank you God. Thank you God for good health that you've given unto me. Thank you so much. Like, I know there are many people who are actually struggling in the hospitals. There are many who have certain conditions, but for me, like, I'm healthy. I thank God. So even this village, like, I don't know really the location of a health center. Like, I really don't know. And obvious, it's quite far. What about you?
I don't know even. I just heard that we have a health center around here, but I don't know.
And are you even healthy, or you have some certain conditions that are weakening your immunity?
I'm more than healthy.
Yeah.
One thing that I usually thank God is I'm not that kind of a person who usually felt sick every now and then. Yeah, that's why even if I have a headache, I can have a headache for the whole day, from morning to evening, and I don't want even to take a single medicine. Because one thing I came to realize, if you are used to taking medicine so much, your immunity doesn't even become strong. Yeah. And even the disease
usually
gets used to those medicines that you are taking. Yeah, so that's actually not good. That's why even if I had a headache, I don't like taking medicine fast. Yeah. Maybe until it becomes severe, that's when I'll think of taking a medicine. Yeah. But one thing I usually thank God, I've never been that kind of a person who usually fell sick so fast. Yeah, because even ever since I was born, I've never been taken to the hospital. Ever since I started seeing myself, maybe when I was 1 year old, 2 years old, I don't know. But let's say as from 4 years, I've never been taken to the hospital with my parents that I'm so sick and I need medication. I've never. Wow. I've never went to the hospital, but I actually went for medication for malaria. Yeah, it was not that big disease, Yeah, that's one thing I usually thank God.
That's actually fantastic.
Yeah, the thing is, for me,
what I normally experience is like just headache, stomach ache. Yeah. those little conditions. Yeah, and what I normally do is that I take painkillers and everything is sorted out. So another thing is that entertainment and lifestyle. Want a cinema, gym, mall or concert? It's just minutes away in the cities. Yeah. So another thing, I'm not a fan of cinema. I'm actually a fan of watching YouTube videos. Like even TV, I'm not a fan of TV. Maybe if it's TV, I might find myself watching YouTube in that TV, but not the traditional media. Like that is just who am I. And gym,
What about gym?
I don't go to gym. Yes, but I know gym is actually a good thing, but I remember I only went to gym maybe 3 times
in your life,
in my entire life. And it's my elder brother who took me to the gym.
Like for me right now,
I made that video on the channel.
Like for me right now, I really miss going to the gym. I really miss so much.
Yeah.
You know, I'm that kind of a person who usually likes to do exercises, you know.
Yeah.
So I really miss those stuff.
Yes.
Because here, there's no way I can access a gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just flow with the vibe, man. Because I know that there is a day that I'll go to the town and I'll be able to access the gym. Yeah, though I'm losing a lot.
Another thing, malls. That's one I really like visiting malls when I'm in the cities. That one I usually do it a lot. What about concerts? In my entire life, I've never been to a concert myself. Yeah. Can we go this way or this way? Which way? I think it's good. I think let's just go
This way?
Yeah, go with the main road. Yeah. In the concerts also, I know you haven't been to a concert, or there's a point in your life you sneak
not
to
really.
to a concert. Yes. So in the towns again, good public transport. No motorbikes across fields. Yes, but we do have motorbikes in the cities. Yeah, African way of life. African cities have motorbikes a lot, and there are also Ubers, trains, buses, and even aeroplanes. So you can just take a flight from point A to point B and carry out your errands, and you're good to go. Yes, in the rural settings, just like this, you can see even the main roads, they are just rough roads.
Rough roads.
Yeah.
But the one thing I usually
Off-road.
One thing I usually hate so much is traveling either from this village to the city or traveling from the city to this village. It's usually a very hectic journey, such that when you travel, let's say you are coming to this village, you travel, then you reach here. When you sleep the next morning, when you wake up, you feel like. But the roads here are like extreme, not bad, they're extreme. Especially when you travel with a motorbike.
You know, you don't know.
I don't like traveling with a motorbike, especially on rough roads. Hey.
Another thing, in the cities, we do have innovation and growth. So cities drive change. We have tech startups, business, and new ideas bloom here. Yeah, in the cities there are, like, city life is the exact opposite of village life. Yeah, there's a lot of innovation carried out in the city, a lot of ideas people can actually put across. Even the culture over there is totally different. So let's talk about cultural exposure. So in the cities, you might meet people from all walks of life and cultures. Yes, and that's actually 100%. We've been in Diani, Kenya, like we are seeing people from all walks of life, the white, the black, people from foreign countries. In the village, I don't really think, even if this village has ever witnessed a foreigner. Like, I don't really think about that.
Guys, this is actually one of the most interior villages here in Africa. This is not the normal village that you are used to.
Yeah.
This is very, 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 very interior. Yeah. One thing you can notice that ever since we started working on this road, we've not met even one person. We just saw some guys over there, they were fetching water, but on the road, we met someone, a lady
with maybe her children.
Oh, yeah. But we've not met any other guys. So this is actually one of the most interior villages. Yeah. Most interior villages.
So another thing, financial and services and legal help. Yeah, you can open a bank account, register a business, or get a lawyer with ease. In the village, getting a lawyer, that one actually means you actually traveling away, or rather escaping the village itself and going to the city just to find a lawyer to resolve your case. Yeah, and even opening a bank account, there are no bank services offered in this village. Yeah, there are no bank services offered in this village actually. So another thing is that in the cities there is a fast-paced life. If you like speed, ambition and competition, the city fuels your fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like for example, here in the village, people don't have competition. People are usually contented
with what they have.
Very fast.
With the little they have.
With the little they have. But in the cities, people are
competition matters.
Competition is usually very high.
Yeah, there are people literally compete. Lamborghini versus I don't know, Bugatti, I don't know with what. Yeah, here competition is very low. But in the cities, competition is actually in the roof. Yeah, there are people actually they can judge you from what you own. Yeah. If you own a car, the way you dress, where you live, the apartments that you live, how luxurious you carry on your life and things like that. Yeah, here it's something else.
Here life is totally different.
Yeah, here it's something else.
It's the opposite of what you see.
Yeah,
in the town.
But in the towns, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. It really is not a joke. But again, now I want us to look at the points of African village.
Yeah.
So in the village, it's actually peace and quiet. In the village, there's no honking cars or rushing crowds. Just the sound of birds and the wind in the trees.
100%. That's actually what I like about the village. Yeah, you know, like let's say where our elder brother stays, where I usually stay sometime in Ukunda. It's usually very noisy day in, day out. Very noisy, very, very noisy. You can't even have a peace of mind. But when you come here to the village, it's peaceful. Yeah, you can have your mind relax and think about yourself slowly. Yeah. Just the sound of birds, you know.
Yeah.
That's actually what I like most.
Even me.
About the village.
Like, in the village you can rest, you can meditate, you can rethink, you can strategize, like you can just come and chill. Yeah. There's a lot that you can be able to do in the village. Like right now, just look. The roads aren't busy, but we can only hear the sounds of these little creatures, the insects, the birds. Yeah,
it's very, very peaceful.
Yeah, that one for sure. I give villages 100% or a 10 out of 10. So in the village, there's actually fresh air and clean living. Away from pollution, the air feels lighter, your lungs thank you.
Yeah, exactly, like right now.
like even just the air itself, you feel it is quite cleaner. There's plenty of oxygen.
Yeah, there's plenty of oxygen.
No pollution of air. That one,
not unless you pass where there's a cow dung. That's one.
like this one over here.
This one, but this one is dry.
Dry.
It doesn't smell.
Yeah.
But otherwise, the air is very clean. Very clean.
Yeah. So in the village again, there is low cost of living. Food is cheaper, houses are affordable, and you can even grow your own vegetable. 100%.
10 over 10.
Yeah. But in this village, there are certain commodities which are usually overpriced.
Yeah, because the village is
very remote.
Very remote.
So transporting commodities or goods to the village, it's expensive.
It's usually very expensive. So after which the prices of goods have to be overpriced so that people can gain the profit.
Yeah. That one actually happens, but I'm sure in other villages, other villages that are not that much remote as this one, food commodities are cheaper. And again, in this village, you can also, you don't have to go to a grocery shop. Every now and then, you can plant your own vegetable. And actually,
so you see in the towns, vegetables are very
expensive.
Not all towns, let me not say in towns. Like in Ukunda town.
In the town where my elder brother lives, where
cost
we
of
usually
vegetables
go
is like very high.
It's actually
high.
On the roof. The prices are actually on the roof.
Very high.
Yeah. And those are some things that
tomatoes,
usually
lemons,
I dislike.
Bananas.
I dislike those things about living in the city. You remember that day when we went to a grocery shop in the town where my elder brother lives? Yes. And I was shocked that only one tomato is actually 20 shillings. Like I was like, there should be at least two.
Two for 20 shillings.
Yes, but I was like, really? And I told myself, no, I'm coming to the village. No, I'm coming to the village. Like in the city, it's so very hard even to save. Like let's say my phone has actually stopped working, or my camera has actually stopped working. Like I cannot live in the city and try to deceive myself that I'll be very much able to purchase that certain gadget. It's very hard. And again, in the city, our parents are not there.
Yeah.
So in the city, when we are actually in the city, we have to do everything by ourselves. Be it buying food, be it moving from point A to point B. That makes us living in the city a bit expensive. And that's when I'm here in the village and I only stay with my parents, like we can benefit everything that comes to a person who actually lives with his or her parents. What can you say about that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because in the city, no parent is there.
You are independent.
Yeah, you are independent. Even just boarding like a motorcycle, you have to pay.
You have to pay.
Yeah, the food you have to pay. When you go to a grocery shop and things are expensive, you just have to face the bull by its horns.
But you know, the thing is that in Ukunda is not like just other towns. It's kind of a different town because it's actually a touristic place. So that's actually what makes it very expensive. The cost of everything is expensive because you know, when you go to Nairobi, the capital city of Kenya, you'll actually find that food is cheaper. Things to do with renting houses, that's what becomes expensive. But in Ukunda, transport, food, rent, everything is like super crazy.
On the roof. Yeah. So let's keep walking. So another thing is that strong community bond in the village. Everyone knows everyone. People greet you by name, not just a glance. Yeah. In the village, in the village it's very easy to know each other. It's quite easy because the population itself is down. You see, like it's easier for you to know each other when you are actually living in the village. Very easy. Yes, but unlike in the cities, the population is high. You only see people by glance.
Yeah, by glance.
And they are nowhere to be seen again.
People don't even greet others too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, people do mind their own business.
Yeah. Here sometimes in the village, if you try to pass somebody without greeting him or her, like that person might think you are crazy.
But that's one thing I like about city life again. People mind their own business.
I know.
People mind their
you
own
don't
business.
like that thing of needing to greet anyone that you meet on the road.
You know, sometimes you might be having your own stuff. You are on a hurry, then someone is like, why are you not greeting me? So you see, but in city life, in towns, people do mind their own business.
You only meet people by glance, and they are nowhere to be
That's
seen.
one thing I usually like.
Yeah, even me.
Because, you know, sometimes when people try to when people how should I say it? Watu wakijaribu kwani kukua na ile hiyo bond. When people try to make the bond, to make stronger bonds.
Yeah.
You actually found that people have some quarrels. Because people try to make the bonds, and again something happens, you find that it becomes very difficult. And so even it becomes that living in the city where people mind their own business, people are like peaceful. We don't have those family quarrels,
family wrangles,
family wrangles,
community wrangles.
Yeah, we don't have that.
Village wrangles.
Yeah, in the city people mind their own business, but in the village that thing is usually seen. Family wrangles, that this family don't like this family. You see.
Another thing, when you are actually in the village, sometimes you've just woken up and a stranger is on your door. Like you are like, really?
What's wrong?
What's wrong? What do you want? It's actually in the morning. Why are you not in your house? What have you come to what do you want here? Like it's but in the cities, like you cannot just wake up and you find strangers in your compound. Like that one doesn't happen in the cities. Actually doesn't. It doesn't. So another point is that organic fresh food, milk from the cow, eggs from the hen, nothing processed. Guys, these are village kids. Habari? Habari? Yeah, these are village kids. These are village kids. Yeah. So we've been told that there is organic food in the village. Is that even true?
That is very true. Very, very true.
Yeah. How do you feel now that we are vlogging like in the center now? Is your heart beat?
No. I've been vlogging in Ukunda where there's a lot of people everywhere. So right now it's like I'm not even seeing anyone.
Yes. Yeah, guys, actually in the village, we are now entering the center. We are now entering the center. This is Majongani Center, where we normally purchase certain commodities, certain goods, and things like that. I know many people on this other side haven't even ever seen a camera. So when they see us vlogging this way, they start asking themselves questions. But we have to do this. Yeah, we are making videos for you to actually watch.
Namjua.
Sio ni ule wa kona nipeleka. Vipi? Poa. Salama. Ni tuko.
Mama yuko hapo nyumbani.
Mama yuko.
Sawa, naam.
Kuna kitu unatengeneza hapa. Ilikuwa imetoboka. Okay. Sisi tuko.
Mama amechukua tayari mzigo wake bado?
Bado hajachukuliwa.
Kama na nafasi sasa hivi nimekauka sizidi sana.
Ani sana. Nitamwambia ikiisha anajua.
Hayo mwenyewe atapiga simu kama kulingana na ile gandika. Kama amepata nafasi tayari asubiri uwe na mvua nyingi.
Oh. Sawa. Yeah, guys, I tell you here, people haven't even seen a camera. So when they see us, they're like, what are these dudes doing? I think they like, yeah, let's actually continue. Yeah, in the village, even the milk itself here, you can get literally organic milk right from the cow. Yeah, that's actually very easy in this village. Yeah, even the food over here, they're not processed food. Yeah, sometimes you find it's food just right from the farm to the shops. Like, yeah, that's actually what it is. Another thing, nature everywhere in the villages. So you wake up to sunrise over the hills, not traffic jams. Absolutely. Yeah, that's actually what usually happens. That one happens a lot. Yeah. Another thing is self-sufficiency. You learn to do things for yourself, build, farm, and fix. Yeah. That one happens a lot. You have to learn new skills when you actually live in the village. Yeah, there's a certain video I saw on YouTube. There's a certain lady who actually lives on a, how is it called?
Container house.
Yes, on a container house. And the lady was actually trying to fix the gutter so that she can be able to harvest rainwater. And what she was actually doing is that she's actually equipped with the skill of welding. Yes, and now I saw her welding by herself, and I was like, what? I've never seen a lady welding. Yeah, that was actually the very first time I saw a lady welding, and she did a great job, and she was able to fix the gutter, and she was good to go. You see, so living in the village, yeah, you have to learn some certain skills. Yeah, it doesn't come easy.
By the way, if I may ask, you've been living in the village for, let's say, more than a year, right?
Yeah.
Which skill have you have you learned?
Oh.
Village skill.
Like
guys, let me tell you something. You know, there are some people who come from the town, they come to live to the village, but they still live as if they are in towns. But there are those who leave the city, come to the village, and now they start living like villagers, right? Yeah, they adapt the village life, going to the farm and everything. Yeah, so those are the real people who they can say that they prefer village life. But for those who leave the town, they come to the village, but they still value things to do with the town. They don't even want to engage with the village activities like going to the farm, doing such stuff. So that's why I'm asking. Ever since you started living in the village, which skill have you practiced, or you're a city boy in the village?
I think I'm a city boy in the village. Guys, what do you think? Because I can say is that like there are some certain things like I'm not interested in. Yeah, personally there are some things like I'm not really interested in, like farming, like yeah, there's a lot of things. Yeah,
Fetching firewood.
Yeah, sometimes you find that even living in the village, I'm actually living in the village because that's actually what life is actually offering me
right now.
Yes, right
but
now.
If things could have changed,
but if at all things could have changed, maybe I could be.
You can escape even right now without telling even your parents.
Yeah, maybe I could be somewhere, you know, even traveling the world. Like it's crazy. Yeah, and that's why you can see that there are some certain skills for me I'm personally learning even when I'm in the village, while other villagers they're not learning those certain skills.
But they are not village skills, right?
Yeah,
not village.
yeah, and that one tells you that maybe my mindset is actually different from other villagers. Yeah, you see, even what we are doing right now,
it's not a village activity.
Many villagers despise what we are actually doing. Yes, filming this video. Yeah, many villagers actually despise what we are actually doing. You see, yeah. Yes. So yeah, that's why I was actually saying that you see, even for me, I think that the skill that I've mostly learned to live with it. You see, when I'm in the village, I'm not living alone. I'm with my parents, and my parents, they have actually learned to live in the village for many years.
Yeah, for many years.
The first thing, they were actually brought up in village settings, both my mom and my dad. You see, and another thing. So for me, basically, when I'm in the village, it's like I'm flowing with the vibe. I'm living with them. Like there are certain things that they're actually taking. They're actually putting a lot of energy into doing those specific things, which for me, like, it's something else, you know. Yeah, and again, my mom and my dad, they are quite progressive in their age.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, maybe their goals was just to find a place in the village, live in the village, and things like that. But for me, life is totally different on my side. Like, this is the moment where I get to build myself. This is a point where I have to be financially independent a lot. Yes. So, and even my goals are very different. Yeah, are very different even from my parents' goals. You see.
Yeah, that's
so
100%
sure.
Yeah.
So for me, living in the village is like the thing that I've learned is that I think I've learned how to live in the village, but not necessarily doing every bit of the village. Yeah. Yes, I've actually learned to live in the village, to live off grid, to live. I've actually learned to live in the village with my gadgets. You know, you see, actually, these are the things that matters to me the most. You know, like even the keyboard that I have, the piano that I have, this YouTube channel that I have. Like, there are certain skills that I'm actually learning at this point of my life that other villagers are actually despising. That's why even when I'm in the village, like, I feel like it's like I'm a city boy in the village, I can say. Yeah, because in this village you never get to see a YouTuber. Yeah, that one is actually a lie. In this village you never get to see a person who is actually interested in music. None. Yeah, in this village you never get to see someone that maybe has other goals, like big goals, like it's crazy, guys. Yeah, it's very crazy. That's why even me personally, when I live in this village, I usually don't compare myself with other villagers. Yeah, because I know what I want in life. I know where I am from. I was actually raised in the city. Yeah, even when I'm in the village, I'm still struggling to hit my goals. You see, I have goals that I've put on my side, and things like connections. Yeah. For me, basically, connections, I don't find connections in the village. I only find connections when I'm in the cities. Yeah. There's a time I actually even had to travel to a very distant place in order to meet people that do what I'm doing. You know, people that are pursuing something that I'm also pursuing. Yes. So in this village, for me, basically, I've learned skills like maybe to live off grid, to live without maybe electricity, to live without sometimes even clean water. I've actually learned to live with those challenges. Yeah, but there are things I'm interested in. There are other things I'm not interested in. Yeah.
So you are a city boy in the village, because you usually have villagers in the city also. So there are those people who relocate from the village.
Yeah.
They go to live in the city, but they still want to live in the same village life.
Yeah.
So they are villagers in the city. But with those, we have those ones who leave the village, go to the towns, and they adapt town life. Yeah, they don't want things to do with the village anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? What skills have you learned living in the village?
Living in the village, skills. To be honestly, I don't think if there's any skill that I've learned, because you know, I've never, the longest time I've ever lived even in this village, it's not even 2 months. It's actually around 1 month and a half. That's the longest period that I've ever lived here in the village, because ever since our parents came, we were like coming, visiting for around 1 week or 2 weeks, and leaving again, going back. Yeah. So even the longest time I've ever lived here, it's last time before I went to Ukunda, and I actually stayed here for around 1 month and some 2 weeks. Yeah, like for me, as I said earlier, people are usually passionate with different things. Like my parents are usually passionate with things to do with farming activities. Yeah, but for me, since I was raised up in in towns, I was not used to that kind of work, first of all. So even I usually find it as a punishment. You see. That's why even yesterday in my video I was saying that for me, doing things to do with farming, I usually find them as a punishment. But other works, let's say like construction, things to do with construction, they are usually heavy works, but I can still do. Yeah. I don't think if there's any skill that I've learned. Yeah, maybe I'm looking towards learning one.
Today you've placed me on a hot seat. I never thought it would go this way. Yes. So
brutal truth.
Yeah, this is actually
you know,
true stories.
You know, with this YouTube thing, you don't have to hide. You don't have to pretend that. You don't have to pretend so that people can love you or
what
hate
you see
you.
Is what you get.
Is what you get.
Yes.
You just be honest.
Yeah. Another thing is that cultural identity. When you live in the village, there is actually cultural identity. You live close to your roots. Songs, dances, and customs aren't forgotten.
Now you see, one thing I really hate most is things to do with culture. I really hate culture so much. Cultures, I really hate.
Yeah, because again, we are living in a civilized world.
Yeah, we are living in a civilized world.
We have Christianity in the world. You know, there are some Christian teachings that go against some cultural practices.
Yeah, some cultural
practices. You see? So the world has actually become modern and things like that. There's some certain things that, personally, if you are a Christian, you are not going to do.
And even you see these things to do with culture nowadays, they usually bring some quarrels among people.
Even they usually bring some quarrels with the government.
Like you see, when we were in school, people come from different tribes, different cultures. Now you see, so you find that there's kind of quarrels. People from this tribe don't like people from this tribe because they have different cultures. Their cultures are contradicting. So you see, that's why I really like things. I really dislike. I really hate things to do with culture.
Yeah, because
one
again,
thing to do with culture, I really hate. Even if I meet someone who is more cultural, I usually don't go with that person. So
and that's why. That being said, there are some certain videos we cannot do them. Yes, even if they are cultural things, there are some certain videos like we just can't do them because then we are Christians. We are born again Christians. Yes. So it's a lot. So another thing is that less stress when you live in the village. Life isn't a race here. You breathe and you live.
Yeah, you don't have stress.
Yeah,
you feel relaxed.
Competition is very low in the village.
Now.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when I'm in Ukunda, my mind is usually going at a speed of 180 kilometers per hour. I'm thinking of so many things. I have to do this, I have to do this.
Yeah.
I'm not relaxed. But when you come here, you feel relaxed.
Yeah.
You can just sleep, wake up, relax.
You see, in the town, even crossing the road, it doesn't come easy. You have to struggle. Everything you are struggling. Like, even when you go to the shops, they are full. Like, there's a lot in the town. But in the village, life is simple.
Slow living.
Yeah, slow living in the village. Yes. So another thing is that values and simplicity. In the village, happiness doesn't come from how much you have, but how well you live. True. Yeah, how well you live. And that's why in the village, you can choose to live in the village in a city way. Sorry guys, my camera went off. My memory card or my SD card was actually full. I had to delete a certain footage in order for us to continue vlogging. Yes. What was we? Yes, I was actually saying that you can live the way you want. You can even live in the village in a city way. Yeah. You can actually live in the city, in the village in a city way. You can choose to live in a good house, in a luxurious house, or in a concrete house, but in the village. You see, you can choose. Yeah, like you can even choose to live like a king, but you are in the village. Yeah, it's what you choose. Like, you can just do anything that you want. Yeah, like us, we are actually in the village, but at the same time we are doing videos. You see, what most people don't do in this village.
Even my dad himself, he's living in the village, but
in a big way.
Yeah, but in the life that he's actually living is totally different from the other old men here in the village. My dad usually watch YouTube videos a lot.
Yeah.
Usually watch. He's actually addicted with YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Even my brother.
And he's actually open-minded.
He's open-minded.
Yes. Some villagers in this village, they have got fixed mindset, fixed mind, like they have fixed goals. Like, in the village, you can choose to live the way you want. You can even choose to live how you want, you know.
Yeah. No one will judge you.
No, yes. Hey, I think today we've spoke much.
We've spoke much, guys.
Yeah.
By the way, if you are watching from I am Hansel and you've not subscribed to my channel, guys, you can please go check me out at I am Dickens, as I had said earlier. Yeah, I usually do some amazing videos. There are other videos that we don't do in I am Hansel YouTube channel. You can only find them in my own channel. Yeah. Others we don't do in my channel, we do in Hansel's channel, like right now. Yeah. So you can please go check me out. Yeah, and hope you have enjoyed the video. Peace.